Good evening. Oh, wonderful. This is a wonderful occasion. Our dear Ruth D. Hunt is saying goodbye and retiring after 12 years with HHC and Bellevue, Woodhull, and other sites. And we'd like you to come forward to pay your tribute to our Ruth D. Hunt. First, we're going to ask Miss Louise Dankberg to come up. They want to see me?
Stand up. Oh yeah, you are standing up.
This is my personal tribute to Ruth D. for the lovely, delicious, darling, whatever other positive D's we can think of, Hunt. Dear Ruth, members of the CAB, members of HHC, Ruth's friends, other colleagues from other CABs and other hospitals in the HHC family. In my heart, I knew that you would be retiring soon. Especially when I went into what was your office and saw no sign of you in it. But I kept saying to myself that I was wrong. And once you were totally healed, you would return and become part of the CAB again and resume your duties as our liaison. I had the pleasure of working with you during my 4-year tenure as chair of the Bellevue Center CAB. It was not always a love fest, and there were times that we did not see eye to eye, because you're much taller than me. But I always knew that we would agree to disagree, yet respect each other, and underneath the various layers of who we are, there was genuine love and respect for each other. As you well know, when I became chair of the CAB, I knew very little about Bellevue, and most of what I learned was through your lessons and commitment to Bellevue and HHC. You were passionate and creative and always had a flair for being a fashion plate and a person that I tried to emulate. You put together so many great programs for Bellevue and always asked CAB to play a role. Whether it was take your fill in the blank to the doctor day, or making strides against cancer walk, or the asthma walk, or AIDS walk, you were always at the helm and encouraged us to become part of your team. You arranged for every detail of the events at Bellevue, and I will always remember the crowd pleaser, May and the jive steppers. You made me feel so young, as these dancers were terrific and much older than I would dare say anyone in this room tonight. You brought genealogy into Bellevue, as you did in your prior HHC hospitals. It was always your hope that the participants would successfully trace their lineage and family health patterns. Your mantra was that prevention, early detection, and screenings can save lives. Whether your hair was long or short, brown, gray, or white, or a combination thereof, you were always gorgeous outside and in, and made everyone feel as gorgeous as you are. We became part of your family regardless of our background or circumstances. It is so fitting that we are now celebrating Black History Month. And this was such an important program to you at Bellevue as well. As Director of Community Affairs at Bellevue, you were always there for the CAB, never too busy to take our calls, to turn our requests into reality. As the expression goes, the mold was broken after Ruth D. Hunt appeared. I regret that your retirement came earlier than you wanted, but I hope that your health becomes perfect again so you can continue giving to others as much as you gave to the CAB and to me. I will always be grateful to you and know that our paths will cross again. If not for the bitter winter so far, I would not have been here in person as the original tribute found me in Aruba, to thank you and to tell you how much we all appreciate your wisdom, intellect, and greatness. You are the person who brought class, dignity, professionalism, and respect to Bellevue. I only tried to follow in your footsteps and learn from you to make the cab the best cab in the public health system. Together, I think we achieve that goal. I cannot thank you enough for all you have done for Bellevue and HHC. Much love and blessings for good health, Louise Dankberg, Bellevue Hospital Center Community Advisory Board, Wednesday, February 25th, 2015. And you will get a clean copy of this without strawberry shortcake on it.
I do want to mention that there are highlights in your packet of Ruth Hunt, highlights from her life's journey. And please look through your packet. It's a folder. Some people call it a folder. I call it a packet.
Thank you. Unfortunately, Congressman Rangel wasn't able to be here due to his legislative schedule, so he sent me in here in this place to present this to you.
Maybe you should stand in front of the podium.
That makes kind of sense.
Just thought I'd mention that.
Well, then we don't see the Bellevue Hospital.
Do you want to read the highlights of that
That's okay.
certificate?
I got those. Oh, perfect.
Just like that out.
Well, basically, he sent me here in this place to basically thank you for your years of service, and on behalf of your colleagues, friends, and all the people's lives you've touched throughout your tremendous career, and your stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional just sitting here saying it. Thank you. And he really wishes he was here, but he's here in spirit.
Yes.
And while they're both standing here, I just want to share with you on the top it says, "A Day in Honor of Ruth D. Hunt, 2015." And it's from Congress of the United States House of Representatives. A proclamation. Thank you very much for delivering that. And now we have representatives from Dan Garatnik and our New York City Council member Dan Garatnik's office and New York City Council member office Rosie Mendez, and we have two wonderful representatives, and that's Howie Levine and Anna Ara. Okay. Would you pronounce it so I don't mess up your wonderful name? Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Aura Olivaria. I'm here on behalf of Councilwoman Rosie Mendez, and this is Howie Levine. We want to present Ruth D. Hunt with this wonderful proclamation on behalf of the council members.
Someone should read this one.
Okay, one over here. Thank you. Wait a minute. Yeah, there we go. You got him?
I'm doing video right now, actually, so that's the.
We are so honored today throughout this public session for our tribute. And at this time, I bring you Denise Richardson from Channel 13. And she's representing Miss Cheryl Wills, and of course herself, but Cheryl Wills from Channel 1 sent a message and she's going to share it with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's so good to be here with all of you. Yes. Okay, let's wake this party up, okay? Y'all are really jealous that she's leaving, right? Uh-huh. She's going home to party. But don't worry, she'll think about you when you get up in the morning and have to get on the train. You don't look happy about this.
I'm very happy. I love her very much.
Am I going to make you cry?
No, I don't cry for those things.
Okay. We'll find something to make you cry. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be here. She's always told me about these meetings that she's attended. She loves you all dearly, and it was one of her favorite things in the world to do. Do you believe that? Yes. You're an easy group, aren't you? I'm really, when she told me she was retiring, I actually didn't believe her. Because I know personally how much it meant to do the job that she did here. She really, really enjoys, one, bringing people together, two, creating a team of celebration. Because you can't know where you're going until you know where you've been. And we all have to, in order to enjoy each other's culture, we have to understand one another. And I know one of her goals was to make that happen. So, you know, I am so proud of you. You get to come home to me now. We live in the same neighborhood. You get to come home to me and do everything I need. But she is, you know, she received a proclamation. You heard of the award from Charlie Rangel. But this woman is so well respected in New York City. And I can, one of the things she does that I'll never really understand, because even though I do TV and I'm out a lot, she's out a lot. And she's going to function to function to function. And she is always saying, I have to be there for my friend. I have to support my friend. And she supported all of you. And she didn't do it because that's my job. She did it because she believes in the value of us working together. So when I walked in here, I thought it was a funeral. I was looking for the party. And I want you all to please give this lady a standing ovation. Come on, get up. Get up. Okay, louder than that. Hey! Hey! Good for you. I knew you had it in you. Have a seat. I also, before she leaves, want to suggest to each of you, just approach her and say simply what she meant to you personally. That's really important, because she may know that some of you like her. Some of you may not. But she may know that you like her. But say what it is that her presence has meant to you and here at Bellevue. Now, I'm here to read. Cheryl Wills is a friend of mine and a friend of Ruth's. She has worked really hard with Cheryl. Cheryl is an amazing woman on New York 1. And she writes, Dear Ruth, I'm so sorry that I am unable to attend this wonderful celebration. I was previously scheduled to appear at the NYPD headquarters to host their Black History Month program. However, I am with you in spirit. Oh, wow! Sorry. I want to sincerely thank you. I'll take that home as being a good host. I want to sincerely thank you for your support over the years. Over the years, you generously hosted book events for me at Bellevue Hospital. Thanks to your endorsement, the events were an incredible success. Of course, I'm also very fond of you because we share a common goal: to educate the masses about the legacy of Africans in America. I admire your commitment to genealogy, and your ancestors are clearly proud of your success and your incredible work ethic. You are an inspiration to all whom cross your path. Lastly, I always chuckled when you said you were a former model. You are still as beautiful as ever, and you are a model in so many ways. You are a model of hard work. You are a model of excellence. And you are a model of integrity. And you used the cavernous halls of Bellevue Hospital as your catwalk. You walk the walk and you talk the talk. And finally, in the words of John Keats, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness. Although you are leaving Bellevue after many years of service, your loveliness will be ever present, and memories of you will be a joy to remember forever. God bless you, and please enjoy the flowers or give them to Denise for reading this so well. Also, I want to say that I know her family. Her brother Kenny is here, and I know her family, and I'm an honorary sister. So her sister and her brother-in-law recently moved, and she said, would you come, because you're my only family here next to my brother. So, but I come because I do truly believe we are sisters, and I couldn't love you more. And I wish you Godspeed. There's so much good coming to you, kiddo. You ain't seen nothing yet. God bless all of you, but let me take a moment to just thank you for the work that you do in the community. I also, in my other life, I'm the Director of Communications for the Salvation Army. And so, you know, we are about helping people, but so are you. And I know that I see people in our soup kitchen every day, and it is painful to see how people are hurting. So, God bless you for the work you do. Thank you for having me, and keep the party rolling.
Ms. Rao. Renee Rao is of HHC, Community Relations, and we welcome you.
Good evening, everyone. And of course, they will put me behind Don. Right, a hard act to follow, right? Good evening, everyone. I bring greetings on behalf of the New York City Health and Hospitals Corporation. So, Ruth, tonight I present you with a letter from Lorraine Brown. And so Lorraine would have you to know, all of you to know, that it's a great joy to join all of you to celebrate Ruth Hunt and her work. What can I say about Ruth? She has it all. Intelligence, a keen interest in discovering new things about the world and the people around her, compassion, grace, as well as inner and outer beauty. I have known this remarkable woman for more than 2 decades, and I have learned a great deal from Ruth. For example, she inspired me to develop an interest in genealogy. She has never failed to remind me that the work we all do has values. The patients we serve matter. That our community representatives have important things to tell us. And that one's life work must be built upon the hope that working in a collaborative way with others can absolutely make things better. I have come to admire Ruth for her accomplishments at HAC, her extensive community service, her courage, and her commitment to Bellevue and the entire public hospital system. I wish her all the best in her retirement and know that she will continue sharing her gifts with others. In friendship, Lorraine Brown, Senior Vice President, Corporate Planning, Community Health, and Intergovernmental Relations. And Ruth, you know, I couldn't stand here without throwing my little piece in there, but I just have a prayer for you, Ruth. And that is that you live as long as you shall ever want, and want for nothing as long as you live. I love you, Ruth. I love you. And I forgot, oh God, I was so caught up with the moment. We've been, on behalf of the Intergovernmental Relations, we honor you with a Marjorie Matthews apple.
Thank you so much.
Yes, right, I told you.
I'll show it to you.
Yes, please do. Please do. It's a crystal. And every year, Ruth would come to my office, Renee, give me an apple. Give me an apple. So, on behalf of the Intergovernmental Relations. And thank you, Ruth.
Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I thought I would have to join the cab.
Yes, we'll give you an application.
Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee is past chairperson of the Community Advisory Board and worked with Ruth.
Hi, Bobby Lee. I'm former chair of the Community Advisory Board at Bellevue here, and I worked with Ruth for a number of years. One of the events that we had was Going Red, I think, and Ruth sent me out to get scarves. Yes, I had to go and get these scarves. She remembers this because we didn't have enough scarves. I said, well, why not? She goes, no, we don't have enough. So I had to go out to Broadway in the middle of, I don't know what the heck it was, on my bicycle because, you know, it was a little bit of distance, and get back here so that we could give the scarves out. But this is just one incident in which Ruth, as everybody else has said, has given back to the community and done these things. And what I appreciate most from Ruth is her contacts, her circle of friends. As everybody has said, they are large, probably much larger than most people would ever imagine. And that's wonderful. And it's something that I think we all want to have in our lives, to be able to reach out and touch as many people as we possibly can. And Ruth has done that with her vast network of people. I mean, I saw Walt Frazier, one of my idols. I mean, I remember when he first came to the Knicks, and I worked at St. Clair's Hospital, and he went there to get his blood drawn. And I was so afraid, so nervous, that he sat there with his wide-brimmed hat, and I said, hello, Frazier, and then ran out of the room. I never talked to him. But I did get to see his maroon Rolls Royce, which was really cute. So I would just like to finish by saying, Ruth, you did the right thing. You got out when you could still walk, and you have your sanity, and you can go and do all the things that your friends said you can do, because that's the most important thing in life. Congratulations.
I've been with the American Cancer Society 9 years. And when I first met Ruth was at my first strides. And when I saw her walk into the Marriott, I didn't know who she was, but I thought, this is a very elegant woman. And when she came into the room, she just commanded attention. And as I got to know Ruth, I always tell people, I think the next time I met Ruth, she walked into the office with almost $30,000 in cash in a bag. And I was like, I'm here with my contribution for the hospital and someone's gonna count it now. And I was like, okay, I'm here, it's me, I guess it'll be me. And you know, after that, I just got to know Ruth more on a personal level and through strides, and she is the most beautiful person that I've had the pleasure of working with. Throughout HAC, and now that I finally get the opportunity to work with the HAC hospitals as my account relieving, I was looking very much forward to that, but do know that it has been a true pleasure for me. The organization values you so much for everything that you have done for us, and I'm going to let Carol say a couple words, because I know you know Carol sometimes.
I'm so happy to be here, Ruth. It's wonderful to see you. I'll never forget the fashion show you organized. It was just one of the most beautiful events you ever saw. Many poor, sick patients, all done up in the most beautiful way. It was such a special moment. I will never forget that. That's one of many things, Ruth. I enjoyed working with you so much. I wish you all the best. God bless, Ruth. You've been such a good friend.
So, as the first token of appreciation, we want to present you with some pink roses.
remember, she used to go with bags of cash, and then she employed me to go to the bank. Just so you know. At TD Bank.
And then we started a TD Bank with Shelley, because she had an account, we had to pay for it, and we would go there.
Free. You know I'm the lady free. Free lady. I'd like to call up Mr. Steve Crosby.
Wow, I wasn't planning on coming to speak, but she insists I did, and it was really unexpected, you know. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. You know, like I said, I really didn't have anything to say. She wanted me to come. She said speak, and you know, I wanted to just to present these to her. And I wasn't gonna say. I didn't really have anything to say. I wasn't gonna say anything. But she said just speak and just speak the way you know you knew her, and kind of like what she said. So.
Tell us why you like her.
Okay. The reason why I liked her because when I first met her. She was respectful. She wasn't phony, you know. And what I mean by that is that, you know, she was real, you know. And because I've been here 34 years, and I just retired last year. And she gave me the opportunity to come here, and I thought I would get the opportunity one day, just to be around all professionals, because I was in food service and housekeeping, which you all on the better standing than I was. So I didn't think that I would ever get to be in the audience like this, you know. And I want to thank you because I know it's not going to happen. And see, I didn't get a card from my department, not even a card, you know, 34 years, you know. So I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity just to, you know, be here. And I just never thought I would be around this, and I've always wondered if I would ever get a chance to, you know, be around an audience like this. And God, thank you so much.
I just have to say something to that, you know, it's just as important to me to have this gentleman come here from the food service department, from the housekeeping department, because it's always been my way that I respect people, whether they work in food services or in housekeeping. They make this hospital run, whether it be from the top to the bottom. He's just as valuable than anybody else in this room. So I am just really thankful to have you here. And if no one ever said it, I'm going to thank you for your 34 years, because this hospital could not run without someone keeping it clean and someone feeding the patients. And your contribution was just as important as everybody else's. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Sandy Hecker has been a former CAB member, but more importantly, because that's important, she has done a tremendous, as a tremendous advocate for many, for healthcare, and she's here to speak to Ruth.
Okay, hi Ruth. I would definitely not miss this. As you know, sometimes we both have a busy schedule, and I said no way in the dickens. Now I'm here as in two different roles. First, as a past Community Advisory Board member, and I was the past chair of the Legislative Committee. Ruth was exceptional. If there was an issue, and yes, like Louise, we butt heads every so often, but like everyone else here, we agreed to disagree. You were just wonderful. Issues were resolved, and it was a pleasure to work with you. Now, this is the other part of me. This I decided to write some notes, especially as I was looking at some of the photographs, and memories started flooding by as a consumer patient of Bellevue Hospital. This is my statement of my prescriptions. And so shows you that it's ongoing. But first, I'd like to thank Ruth for all the walks, and I walked with her. One in particular now has a major impact on my life as of last year. Ruth was forging ahead and to make sure this hospital offered first quality services. At least that I know that I would be one of them that would help me. Thank you so much. In fact, in the next few weeks I see my physician again, and tomorrow I'll be here again for my dermatology. I passed pre-cancer patient. So yeah, it's ongoing. And thank you, because she is just tremendous. My many years, as many of you know, in physical therapy. And as you all can see, I can do this now. Thank you to the physical therapy department here. I had recommended different seating arrangements downstairs after the sessions of physical therapy. It was very tough for me to go home. Thanks to Linda Curtis and Ruth, there was new seating arrangements, so I was able to sit down and relax and not be upstairs with all the other people moaning and groaning, and it was much better with a cup of coffee or orange juice. Now, other outside activities, I see Ruth quite a bit, so I am sure I will see you in the future as well, and even the NAACP, she knows I'm a member. I have to pay my membership due of the Manhattan branch, and perhaps I'll see you soon there again. I enjoy going with Ruth and participating on Lobby Day in Albany, press conferences, state and city hearings. I just once again like to thank you for the major contribution to this hospital, to the ambulatory care, the emergency room, which some of you know I spent some time in, unfortunately, and Ruth was always available. Yes, I did receive personal attention, but, you know, Linda Labate, Lorraine Brown, and everyone said, oh, she's here. In fact, even when I walk into the ambulatory care clinic, I wait my time, but they go, they'll make a phone call to Ruth. Okay. And anyway, thank you very, very much for all the patients here at Bellevue Hospital who, like me, has made a remarkable recovery. Thank you, both as a friend and as I would call you a colleague. Thank you.
Katie, me too, me too. Thank you.
Miss Betty White.
Yeah, our Betty White. Our Betty.
Well, our Betty White.
Hi. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am here for Ruth Hunt. I am the chair of the Harlem Hospital Advisory Board, but that is not important. The important piece is Ruth Hunt. This is one of your evenings, one night for you on your lifetime journey, and your lifetime journey is not over. So many things that I wanted to say, they've already been said, but they'll be said again and again about you. What I'm saying is from my heart as a friend. I wanted to talk about your hair being long.
short, blonde, red, orange, multicolored, and I don't care what color it was, you were still a raving beauty. Amen to that. I want to tell you that in attending the Council of Cab meetings monthly, that is how I met Ruth. And I would sit there, sometimes nodding, trying to look intelligent, trying to be focused, but I would always look on the peripheral, outline, who's sitting there, who's that person, And one evening, many, many years ago, I stopped and there was Ruth. I said, who is that? And I think I might have asked Renee Rao, and she said, oh, she used to be a model. I said, well, what is she doing here? But after many conversations, what I learned about you, Ruth, is that you are dedicated, respectful. You care about people. You cared about your cab, but more than that, you cared about the community. And you have no idea how your reputation is up in Harlem. People talking about you, people saying, Ruth plans. She plans and she does not fail. And all of these things Bobby Lee was talking about, going on his bike to pick up some scarves, it's just because Ruth wanted everybody to have one. She plans and she does good programming, and believe me, you will be missed in this institution. I know that. Bellevue knows that. I just want to say I love you, and on behalf of Harlem Hospital and Harlem Hospital's cab, you always have an invitation to come uptown. I love you, Ruth.
Okay. Mr. Kenmore. This is all about Ruth.
Good evening. I met Ruth probably about 3 years ago when I used to come to the Council of Cabs meeting and see what was going on in the hospital and what the Council of Cabs was doing. And then I joined the Council of Cabs not the Council of Cabs, the Bellevue Community Advisory Board about 1.5 years ago. And I had the opportunity to work with Ruth for several months. And I really appreciated that opportunity. So I've written what I consider to be a tribute to Ruth for what she's done and what I know her to have done, and I'm sure that she's done a lot more from what I've heard in all those years when I didn't come to Bellevue, and that preceded not only my existence here, but coming to the cab, etc. So this is a tribute to an individual who has provided what I think is a great public service. And while we all have disagreements, as all people will, and it's been mentioned here, we all have a strong suit. And I think one of the things that Ruth showed continually was that she did have a strong suit. And I had an opportunity, thankfully, to observe Ruth in different situations. I saw her at event ceremonies, events in the atrium, interactions with the cab and the cab members, a meeting with Renee Rao downtown wherein we discussed bylaws, and certainly one-on-one conversation. So I've been able to see Ruth, and we've had the opportunity to see her in many different situations, and I appreciated that. And the one thing that is clear is while Ruth had her own opinion, and I don't think anybody will argue with that, on how things should be done, Ruth had respect for others, and she let them run with the ball, whether she agreed with it or not. She made her opinion known, and then she gave you the respect to do whatever it is you felt you had to do. And I think that's the mark of somebody that is a leader, or one of the marks of somebody that's a leader, and somebody that gives something back to the public. I think that most often we run so fast in this busy world that we don't take the time to find out or discuss what other individuals have to offer. And I think that's a big mistake today, and I think a lot of people don't really get to know people or see people. They see them in one capacity, whatever they believe that capacity to be, as community relations director, whatever, and they don't really take the time to get to know the person and what their strong suits are. So I enjoyed my one-on-one conversations with Ruth about the bigger picture. I enjoyed my conversation with her when we talked about the work that Walter Russell and Leo Russell did in Virginia when they lived there and when they were alive, and many other issues and things that we discussed. I sat in Ruth's office sometimes and discussed things with her one-on-one. I think it's often shameful that we often forget about someone once they are out of sight, and unfortunately that translates into forgetting and likely discarding the groundwork they set forth to bring us to where we are today. The files that they built upon, which we can move forward for that which was and still should be a work in progress. And perhaps more importantly, the insight and foresight that they brought to the organization and to the table. We need not reinvent the wheel. And I think Ruth did a lot of important work here that was started, some of it unfinished, and will continue to be a work in progress, and I think that work should be brought forth, including, by the way, your files. Having had the opportunity to see some of them. Ruth provided a service to both the community and to the patients. She helped make the CAB what it is. She provided us with an office, she provided us with service, and she gave us the benefit of her experiences. So let us say thank you to Ruth, and as we move forward, let us remember what Ruth stands for, and let us pay her the greatest tribute possible, using the knowledge and resources she provided in the work the CAB does to service both the community and the patient. I want to say thank you, Ruth, and further, I personally want to thank you for your kindness and friendship while we work together. February 25th, 2015, full board meeting of the Bellevue CAB. Thank you, Ruth.
Lyle Frank is Community Board 6 in Manhattan.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Lyle Frank, and I'm, this is I think my 21st year on Community Board 6. That's old. I started when I was 6. It's amazing. That's right. I remember. I went straight from first grade. It was when you got after school. Anyway, so I also chaired the Human Services Committee for a number of years, which dealt with health issues. I mean, the sobriety garden was a big issue for us at the time. I also served as chair for 3 years, and I will tell you, I mean, and I lived in this neighborhood my whole life, and Bellevue is a jewel. It really, I mean, that's the best word really to use for Bellevue. It's a jewel. It's a place where my father, when, you know, in his elderly years, would be taken to when he needed help and would always get the best care. So what I just wanted to say, and being chair of the board, I got to know Bellevue and the work of the fine people of Bellevue, and really the fine people of everybody in this room, because I think it really is such a collaborative effort. And when I've come to the Bellevue CAB meetings, I haven't come to that many, because unlike most of the other Board 6 members, I've never been a member, which I think we might have a Board 6 quorum here, actually. It's close, I'm not sure. And so I just want to say, on behalf of myself, because I'm not here speaking, but I'm speaking as a former chair of Board 6, thank you for everything all of you do, but 12 years, I mean, serving the people of the city and making people better. And I mean, there's really no better calling, in my opinion, than that. So thank you for everything that you've done.
Well, we got that spirit from everyone. Let's go again. This is all me. So you know the story. I've entitled this piece, hear her, it's really short. Wednesday's Woman Making a Difference. In 2012, Ruth D. Hunt was featured in the New York Beacon newspaper in a column entitled Wednesday's Woman. How appropriate on Wednesday, February 25th, 2015. Lois Rakoff, the chairperson of Bellevue Community Advisory Board, CAB, its members, and the New York community pays tribute to Ruth's creative spirit, her commitment to improving health care, and an infectious work ethic that can never be beat. Quoting from that article, long before Obamacare, there was Hunt Care. And for her dedicated commitment to marketing health care awareness and